Well, greetings. We want to congratulate all of you at Faith Community Church on your 30th anniversary. It's just a privilege to have an opportunity to say congratulations. We miss all of you a whole lot. And when I think of Faith Community, of course, it has some great memories for me. Coming right out of seminary in 1987, just 3 to 4 years after Faith Community was begun. It was a relatively new church, and I was certainly a new youth pastor. It was a great experience for us. Great place to raise our three daughters, one of which is with me today, Bethany. But when I think of all the things that we did in ministry there, of course, for me, come back great memories of 18 years in Mexico, going down there with kids and adults. I think of all the great times that we had at the fall hayride and out at Robert Young's house. That was great. The live nativities, in the middle of the winter. Both with kids standing on the roof of the church in angel gear, unloading straw bales from the Van Horns and other places, and but just really the great attitude people had up there when we did projects, doing great missions conferences with T-Sons and everyone else on the mission board, recreating a 747 fuselage. I remember one year. It just didn't seem like anything was too difficult for Faith Community Church, and it was just a great place. I'm so happy to have all those memories. In fact, in my office right now, I keep this Solid Rock plaque reminder in my office of those days that was presented to us when we left the church. It was just a great reminder to me of all those kids that we had there. In fact, if it wasn't for the Cleaver boys, I would be really proud of every kid that graduated from our high school youth program. But despite them, I think for the most part, we had some quality kids. I do remember one story, however, when I was in my office and, as usual, trying to think of something to make life more interesting. And I heard the Harder girls in the kitchen with Ruth, and they were making chicken noodles for their soup, and their egg noodles for their soup. And they would make these long noodles out on the counter with flour and everything. And it was a good activity for a winter's day. And I had just received in the mail a water balloon launcher, and I'd never used one before, so I didn't know much about it. But this devious, if not devilish, thought crept into my mind to go ahead and hook one end of the launcher on the doorknob of my office, and then stretch it across to the doorknob across the hallway, and then put a water balloon in the little pocket, and then I walked backwards about 6 feet with it. When I felt that I was ready, and I had aimed it pretty well, I called for the girls to come out from the kitchen. I think I said something like, "Lisa, come on out here." And as Lisa and Mary, and I don't know if Steph was there or not, came out, I timed it just perfectly and let go. And that water balloon zinged in down the hallway. It must have been about 30 feet with a velocity that was truly surprising. And it actually hit the door next to Lisa's head about 6 inches to the left and splattered everywhere. And my only thought was, if that had hit Lisa's face, well, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. But it was a great lesson, and we had a great time. Beth, what do you have?
Well, we just want to let you know that despite the fact that both of us are wearing what looks like Iowa apparel, we're still Cornhuskers at heart. And as you can see, this hangs in my father's office every day at all times for everyone to see. So just wanted to give you guys hope that we have not converted completely.
In fact, I just spent this last Saturday up at Ann Arbor, Michigan, watching the Huskers beat Michigan with my brother and a former pastor here. So we're still what my daughters would refer to as Huskeyes, where we're Husker fans at heart, but Hawkeye fans just because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So we miss all of you. Wish we could be there with all of our hearts. And we love you and think of you often.